So Season 4 starts tomorrow, and with that, a lot of our upcoming focus will be on the content pertaining to Season 4. The new weaponry, new Warzone changes and additions, new tips, tricks, and loadouts for your best success. But in the final day before all of that kicks off, I figured a nice little segue here would be to talk about something we've yet to out of all of the Modern Warfare 2 coverage thus far. That being how the new Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 experiences will go. What we've learned so far, officially speaking, about Warzone 2, because with Modern Warfare 2's reveal, we did get a surprising few glimpses at what to expect. So today we're breaking all of that down. As we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to Warzone 2? What do you want to see fixed or changed from the current Warzone experience going into Warzone 2? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and of course Season 4 content here upcoming this week. We're chasing down 500,000 subscribers, and I'd love to have you in the community if you're at all interested. That said, let's jump into it. So, technically speaking, Modern Warfare 2 and the Warzone 2 experience was described as such. October 28th marks a new beginning for Call of Duty, starting with the release of Modern Warfare 2. Soon after, a wholly new Warzone will launch as an extension of the Modern Warfare 2 universe. With it comes new technology, new features, and new gameplay that work seamlessly together. Throughout, we have taken a wide range of community feedback to heart. In order to fully deliver the state-of-the-art experience, Warzone 2.0 will feature new Modern Warfare 2 content and systems with brand new progression and inventories. Today's Warzone will continue as a separate experience that will include a continuation of player progression and inventories within that Warzone experience. We can't wait to share more details soon. Development on the all-new dynamic Warzone 2.0 experience is also being led by Infinity Ward along with Raven Software. The new free-to-play Battle Royale Warzone also features the same technology powering Modern Warfare 2, so both titles leverage the Call of Duty engine that first debuted with Modern Warfare 2018, providing most seamless and advanced Call of Duty experiences ever. In addition, expect more intel on a new sandbox mode and the brand new play space as we get closer to launch. Then, later on down that sort of discussion and reveal for Modern Warfare 2, it's stated that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is scheduled for release on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC on Battle.net and Steam. But Call of Duty Warzone is also scheduled for release later this year on the same platforms. So let's start there, I guess, the very beginning where we tailed off. Later this year, this kind of dispelled any of the rumors that we had seen here initially speaking, where it was rumored that Warzone 2 would be launching in Q1 of 2023. And honestly, that made sense at the time. Of course, give Modern Warfare 2 some time to breathe, but then we saw some more teasers that would kind of hint towards this coming out not in Q1 of 2023, but earlier. But now it's officially confirmed to be coming later this year. As for an actual ETA, we don't know. That could be late November. That could be sometime just before the holiday with like a Season 1 launch. We don't know. Right now, that Q1 timetable that we previously expected for a Warzone 2 has kind of now had some eyes shift towards DMZ being something releases then. Being that's rumored that Spec Ops will be there at launch, but DMZ being the bigger game within a game might not be. That's something we're not going to get into with this video, but outside of that, of course, we know the confirmation that it will be coming to the last generation consoles. Again, something that was up in the air in terms of rumors. People thought it would be happening. People thought that it'd be next gen or current generation only, but it has been officially confirmed that we will see this on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 platforms for those that are still on those consoles. And that is something that, while it might be a little bit of a red flag, you might think, okay, does this hold the game back? The vast majority of players are still on last generation. So the way that I see it, or at least that I hope, this game and this experience was built for next generation, the current generation, but with last generation in mind, meaning that it pushes the boundaries and does not hinder any of the gameplay experience for those on the current generation of Xbox Series X and S, as well as PlayStation 5 and PC, but at the same time doesn't detract and completely kill the experience for those still that have not had the ability to upgrade. Now, we'll have to see how that all works out. Infinity Ward has stated that they are happy with how the Modern Warfare 2 experience, and thus by association, Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 look and play on last generation consoles, but outside of that, let's break this down into some segments. They state that there's going to be new technology, new features, and new gameplay that work seamlessly together. That the new free-to-play Battle Royale Warzone also features the same technology powering Modern Warfare 2. So that means the mechanics, the gameplay features that we've all discussed at length here on the channel will all be seen in Warzone 2. Water play and the water vehicles, gunsmithing and the changes to the core fundamentals there, how you build your weapons themselves, AI potentially to some degree. It was stated by Infinity Ward in our pre-briefing that they will be featured in Warzone 2, but there were no explicit examples on how that would work. Right now, the current rumor is that that stronghold feature rumored to be coming in Warzone 2 will be how they're featured, where they're sort of these high-value loot zones essentially, but guarded by AI that give you certain level of rewards depending on how many AI you have to take out, things like that. But then we'll also see gameplay mechanics like dolphin diving, ledge hanging, dynamic vehicle gameplay where you can do things like leaning out of windows, blowing off tires, and even repair parts of your vehicle as well to keep them alive for longer, and even more. So all of that stuff that we see and have discussed already in Modern Warfare 2 will be there and present in Warzone 2's experience. Another statement directly was that Warzone 2.0 will feature new Modern Warfare 2 content and the systems with brand new progression and inventories. Now that means that the new Modern Warfare 2 content and systems is supported for future gameplay experiences as well, but the start point is Modern Warfare 2. That is the core fundamental basic building blocks of this Warzone 2 experience, meaning that you're going to have in Warzone 2 your Modern Warfare 2 weapons, your Modern Warfare 2 streaks, your Modern Warfare 2 field upgrades, your Modern Warfare 2 vehicles, other things, again, not necessarily fully understood, like your AI inclusion, your movement mechanics, mainly speaking to like sprinting and slide types. We saw some regular sprinting in the gameplay debuted for the campaign mission at Summer Games Fest, but we didn't see any sort of tack sprinting there with that, so we don't know if tack sprinting will be fully back. We don't know if slide canceling will be something that is taken out from Warzone 2. We don't quite know that part just yet, but Modern Warfare 2's basic building blocks are what's going to be building for Warzone 2, just like Modern Warfare 2019 did. So with that, we'll also see that brand new progression and inventory. Now, the progression system, I don't think that there's been anything mentioned here to this on any degree, whether officially or unofficially via leaks. I don't think anything in regards to a progression system has been mentioned just yet. As much as I'd love for the classic prestige system to come back, with so much recent emphasis on player retention, I don't think that I see that seasonal prestige system going away. That system was built solely for the simple reason of to keep players coming back, with the philosophy that they'll care about their rank overall each season to not be level 1, and they'll come back and put some time into it. The big takeaway from that, though, is that the Warzone 1 and Warzone 2 experiences will be entirely disconnected, meaning that when you rank up in one, the other will not also see that rank progression. So while we may still have that seasonal ranking system, it might just be something that's independent of Warzone 1 with Vanguard, Black Ops Cold War, and Modern Warfare 2018 progression in there, where they could both utilize the same systems, they're just not linked one-to-one like that. Then also for the inventories resetting, this is a big topic of discussion that I've heard quite a few arguments for and against, but your inventories from Modern Warfare 2 will be your inventory in Warzone 2. Your Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, and Vanguard items will not transfer over, which is something that, again, a lot of people may be for, a lot of people may be against, some people just may be on the fence. It is something, though, that I will say, as much as it sucks that what you purchased or what you earned in Modern Warfare 2019 through Vanguard and Warzone 1, it will suck that that won't transfer over, but at the same time, that's also the first 3-year life cycle we've ever seen for anything like that in COD's history. We don't quite know how long this Warzone 2.0 experience will last going into the future, but I mean, we got way more use out of that kind of stuff by comparison to just an overall year-over-year turnover like we saw before Warzone's inclusion as that sort of through line between games. But will they be lost forever, though, if you're somebody that really cares about that kind of stuff? Technically, no, because we'll see those carry on into the continued support of Warzone 1. It's also mentioned in this blog that today's Warzone experience will continue as a separate experience that will include a continuation of player progression and inventories within that Warzone experience. We can't wait to share more details on that soon. So while you might not be able to see that transfer over into Warzone 2, I'm really curious about what this means for the future of Warzone 1, because it seems like this is all going to be some continued support for even the Warzone existing experience now after the launch of Warzone 2. This seems like some real macro level stuff here at this, because you think about year-over-year games having some support after the launch of the next game. Well, it kind of seems like that's the way this is going with Warzone's cycle, where these 3 games are part of one Warzone cycle, but when we go on to the next one, that last Warzone cycle is still being continued on a little bit further. So we'll still see that stuff be viable in the Warzone 1 experience, as it's described to have its own support system. They say as a separate experience, and when I first heard that, admittedly, I kind of thought that meant, okay, wait, is that going to be like a standalone experience and application by itself? But the more I think about it, I just think that it means that it's going to be Warzone 1 continuing on, getting content updates, getting support there, and maybe even seeing some different maps thrown in the mix here. So just having those play experiences continue on, but being separate. And we'll also see that at launch, there'll be Ricochet anti-cheat. That's something that has been mentioned in other blogs as well, meaning that your cheaters should be blocked out to a reasonable degree come the launch of Warzone 2 and beyond. Now, here's the thing. We've talked about this plenty of times before. Is an anti-cheat ever going to be 100% effective? No. know. The way that I always like to equate this to is your immune system in your body. Your immune system, being the anti-cheat, is designed so that it recognizes system intrusions, things that are toxic to the gameplay environment, and thus, in the medical comparison, your body. But until it ends up seeing such a disease or such a cheat, it won't know what to look for and to stop. So you will, of course, end up seeing players that do cheat slip by the system every so often. Cheats are always being updated, always being expanded upon, and until the system itself recognizes that that is a new variation of a cheat, it can't really block that just yet. So an anti-cheat will never 100% be effective like that, but at least at day one, it should be able to combat a lot of, if not the majority of cheats right then and there, as opposed to how long it took to get in Warzone 1 at that 2-year mark. So definitely a nice push in the right direction, I think. Hopefully the cheats can be detected and blocked quicker, but we'll have to wait and see. We also have some information for further on down the road that the unified engine in Treyarch's next title that we'll see here with this, because we have had it confirmed that the Modern Warfare 2 engine will be the unified engine going forward, where yes, there can be deviations in creative design and how the studios want to take their approach to the gameplay feel, but overall it will be a much closer experience when the next Treyarch game, right now rumored in 2024, will be launching, as opposed to Black Ops Cold War transitioning then into Warzone, where it was an entire system shock, two entirely different systems of play. Instead, it's going to be a lot more built out for closer and seamless integration from game to game. So that's something that you can look forward to here if you're looking way further down the line. I will say though, of course, Treyarch always being that more so arcadey and cartoon feel to it, it will be different, but seeing some of the gameplay footage in trailers for things like Shinonuma, I'm definitely excited to see what Treyarch can cook up on the upgraded IW 9.0 engine and beyond. Outside of that, the only other thing that we really know here is that we got a little bit of a glimpse of the Warzone 2 map, and thus what is also being rumored as the DMZ map here coming whenever that may happen. We saw some of this in the trailer itself, the reveal trailer for Modern Warfare 2, and was confirmed by Johanna Ferry's general manager of Call of Duty when at Summer Games Fest. When we get some of those sort of UAV overlooks of different terrain and everything, that looks to be part of the Warzone 2 map here upcoming. So really cool that we get some of that teasers here. We saw some teasers in Modern Warfare 2019's reveal trailer, that C-130 infill sequence. That was directly a teaser to Warzone that was later confirmed by Infinity Ward devs. So nice to see that kind of stuff here already being teased, and we already know a little bit about it, including that new point of interest, the classic of high rise. So that said, that's what we know of. One thing that I do want to add here before I wrap everything up, because I don't know when we'll be able to touch on this next, the new map rotation coming for Fortune's Keep as well as Rebirth Island later on in the season. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that is hinting in a sort of testing ground for the Warzone 2 experience. Seeing different maps come in and out of the rotation, whether a large scale like a Caldera and Verdansk size map or something smaller like a Rebirth and Fortune's Keep. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're testing that out for future use. But anyways, that's what we know of and what is confirmed for Warzone 2. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you guys looking forward to anything in particular here that we have heard officially speaking? Of course, what we talked about here is not any of the leaked stuff, any of the rumored stuff. So that would increase the subject matter like tenfold. Maybe we can do an updated video later on down the line talking about confirmed and unconfirmed things. But for right now, wanted to keep it centralized and focused around the stuff that we know. That said, again, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and of course, upcoming here this week, Warzone Season 4 content. If you're at all interested in any of that, I'd love to have you in the community. But that said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.